Hi, welcome back to HornThrowers. I'm joined here with Jason from Ingested. Take two. So you're currently, touring with Cannibal Corpse. Been quite like a grueling, long European tour. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I'm still in one piece. So yeah, I mean, we're on week 8 now, which is the final week. So the last leg is in UK. I mean, we're on tour with living legends, and we're playing a hometown show tonight, so it doesn't get any better than that.
Awesome. Yeah, so that was going to be the next thing I was going to kind of ask you, obviously local boys from Manchester playing the Manchester Academy with Cannibal Corpse, that must feel pretty great.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We've been waiting the whole tour to play this show. In front of all our family, our friends, all our hometown fans as well. It's a great feeling, especially being able to share the stage with Cannibal Corpse and Dark Funeral in front of Manchester. So yeah, we're hyped and ready for tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for it. So obviously you've recently signed to Metal Blade Records, released your new album through that. How did that come about, and how you found the change to the new label?
Yeah, Metal Blade have been absolutely amazing. They've always been the label that we wanted to sign to, since we started this band when we were teenagers, because we always felt like we'd be a really good fit, and we looked up to so many Metal Blade artists for our whole careers basically and before. The way it came around was we were at the end of our contract with Unique Leader Records, who we had a really great relationship with for a long time, but we kind of felt like we were at a point where we were ready to take the next step, which is no disrespect to Unique Leader. Obviously they were a great label, still are a great label, they've got a great roster of bands. But we were just ready to go to that next level. So we were shopping around, looking around, seeing what the crack was basically. And then we got contacted by Metal Blade. They contacted us and was like, "We're here, you're out of contract now. Do you want to talk?" And we were like, "Absolutely,
Yeah.
We do." And then it happened. And they've been so amazing to us, even from day dot, even before we signed to him. Sorry, I've got really itchy nose.
That's alright.
And they've been absolutely amazing. They've made us feel so welcome, even before we signed to him. And they've been absolutely fantastic, throughout the whole album process. They're always in contact with us, they're always checking in on us, seeing what we're up to, seeing how we're doing. They kind of they whatever we need, they're always there for us. They always come out to shows as well, all over the world, wherever we are, wherever they are. And they've made us feel like Metal Blade Records is Ingested's home, which we've kind of never really felt before. Kind of always felt like just business, but now it's this is Ingested's home. So it's the beginning of a very long and fruitful relationship, I think.
Awesome. As I was saying to you before we swung the press mailing lists, we've seen how hard Metal Blade push their artists, trying to get them in front of as many people as possible, and you really get the sense that they believe in the people that they sign and stuff like that, and it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. They're 100% behind us. They're 100% behind every single band that they have on their roster, and it's a really good feeling. It's a really, really good feeling. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Awesome. So as a 3-piece band, obviously trying to play very big, epic sounding, brutal music, how are you finding that, especially live, trying to create that sound?
Well, the way that we do it since we became a 3-piece is whenever we're on tour, we always get a hired gun in. So whether that's a second guitarist, and if it's a second guitarist, then we'll use bass tracks live. And if it's a bassist, like it is on this tour, we'll use the second guitar tracks live. So either way, it's always crushing because we are literally one of the most crushing live bands in death metal. Like, so whichever way it's going to be, it's always going to be absolute devastation for whatever venue that we're in, and we're just going to annihilate the crowd like we do every single night. Because I want people to leave our shows with a smile on their face first and foremost, and absolutely fucking shell-shocked by what they've just witnessed. And I think we do a fucking good job of that, to be honest.
Just limping away from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you mentioned like that in the first attempt we had at doing the interview, the aspiration is to eventually perform as a 5-piece live. And we'd said before that, like sort of like there are a certain sort of like in interviews that we'd read that you've been outspoken on some issues, like whether it be like veganism and animal rights or anti-fascism. And what would be the kind of criteria of a new member maybe meshing into the band like that?
Just to be a nice person, like just to be a nice person, like because I grew up, I was raised on a council estate in Manchester. I'm working lower class. Like we grew up without a pot to piss in, and I was just raised to just be nice. If you're nice, people like 9 times out of 10, because there's arseholes out there from any walk of life. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter like who you are or where you come from. There's always going to be one tiny percent of knobheads around, isn't there? Like that's just life, innit? Like that's just life. Like so 9 times out of 10, like whatever energy you put out is that's what you're going to get back. So just be nice to people. Just treat people like you want to be treated. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know where that's got lost in translation like recently. Just be fucking nice. So that's the bare minimum I expect from anyone that I work with in any capacity, is just be a nice human being. Like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like, no fucking negativity, none of that shit. Like, just be a nice fucking human being. That's it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not hard. It's really not fucking hard. Like, just be nice. Do you know what I mean? We're all in it together. Like, we're all fucking, like, all of us in Ingested, we're all working class. We've all come from fuck all. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you just appreciate just being nice to people. Like, there's too much like division and shit in the world today. Like, do you know what I mean? And like I was saying before, the only division that there should be is between rich and poor, because that's the only real division.
Yeah.
We're all fucking, once we realise that there's more of us than there is of them, and we're all the ones that are doing all the work, yet we're all the ones that are getting fucked. Like I said before, like these people in England who can't afford to eat or can't afford to heat their houses, and people are like fucking dying, or people are like going to fucking food banks like in this first world country. Like in 2023, what the fuck is going on? Like, do you know what I mean? While we're all at each other's throats arguing about stupid shit that shouldn't really fucking matter. Like, let's be honest. Because we're all just human beings. We're all in the same fucking boat. And once we realise that all these fucking distractions that have got us all arguing about fuck all, really, like, then we'll realise that we're the ones that actually have the power, because there's fucking, 99% more of us than there is of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Using like a kind of culture war to distract from
like I said before, I sound like I've got a fucking tin hat on, a tin foil hat on. But that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. I see that we're all, like, all those fucking poor folk, like, we're all fucking, like, arguing about this, that and the other. And it's like, we're getting fucked. They're all getting fat and rich of our fucking blood and sweat, like, while we're all fucking dying in the dirt. Like, we're getting poorer and poorer. Yeah. And they're getting richer and richer. And like, do you know what I mean? The way I see it is that, like, all this division, like, whether it be on fucking news or whether it's on social media or Twitter or whatever shit, that shit's being put out there by somebody that doesn't want us all to fucking go, hang on a minute. Yeah. We're all in this shit together. Like, why are we arguing? Let's treat each other as fucking human beings and start pointing the finger at the real fucking problem.
No, like, and people have been saying it for hundreds of years, and but yeah, like, wages have like stagnated since the 70s. You can see the data of it. It is getting worse, like you said. this was just it's like one big
Yeah.
political tangent, 'cause we tend to have like a bit of a lefty bias on the show anyway.
But like I said, like we're not a political band.
Yeah.
We've never been a political band. We keep that shit like out of our music. Like, but that's how I feel. Like that's how I feel. I just feel that's the shit that's going on. But like going back to your original question, just be like bare minimum is just anyone that I work with, just be nice. Just be a nice person. Like I said before, I know I'm in a big fucking scary death metal band and I make fucking monster noises and I sing, sometimes I sing songs about fucking chopping people up or whatever. But like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, just be a nice person, man.
I suppose like that wouldn't really work on the next record, would it? You know, like just can everyone get along?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's called death metal. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like fucking horror movies, innit? Like, it's just musical horror movies. That's what that shit is. But like, yeah, just be nice. And just be fucking nice.
That leads us on perfectly to next question. We're going to ask you. A bit of a fun digression after we were talking about some pretty serious stuff there.
After I've had my little rant.
Yeah, more than happy. But anytime you want to come and
Slam King's working class rant.
Yeah, Slam King's soapbox.
Yeah, fucking hell.
You can make it a segment on the show if you want.
Yeah, we could do actually.
But so your picks for sort of top horror movies, past and present.
Yeah, one of my favourites of all time is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because it's just grimy, man. Like everything about it is just horrible from the moment it fucking starts till the moment it ends. It's just like even when I've seen it a million times, but my skin's just crawling. Like when it like opens up and it's like, and it's just like, oh, what is this?
It's just the level of low budget grit that it has going on.
It's peak, man. Like and like from the moment it opens, it's just this horrible feeling. And then I think it's really clever with its violence as well because, like, 99% of it is all implied. Like there's barely any real violence. Like it's like when he puts them on the hook, and you think you see it going into the back.
Yeah.
But you don't. You don't.
Power of suggestion.
Yeah. It's like when he's soaring, you think you've seen him soar, but you haven't. And it's all clever. And I think that's more terrifying because it's always gonna be worse in your mind. Like your mind is always gonna be worse. Visualize like worse shit than like what you've actually seen. And that's super clever. And then the last half an hour of it's like just absolutely harrowing.
Yeah.
Like because it's the main girl's just screaming for 30 minutes straight nearly, and it's just I'm out of breath like at the end of it. Like when she gets into the back of the pickup truck, I'm like fucking hell. Like that definitely. The Evil Dead 1 and 2, I love them films. I do love Army of Darkness, but I wouldn't really place it in
same. It's just
horror.
It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's great. Devil's Rejects I absolutely love because again it's like it's got that weird American South sort of like vibe, and like there's a load of films like that like I don't know, there's just something about that vibe that are just like
Wrong Turn.
Kind of Hills of Eyes, like that kind of stuff. Like there's just something about like those Americans that like South like movies that are set in like horror movies that are like set in Texas and stuff like that, where it's all like in the desert and stuff. Like there's just something about
nothing
it.
Scary than in Bread Red Death.
It's like there's just so I just love that shit. Like and like the soundtrack on Devil's Rejects is amazing as well. Like we were talking about when at the end where Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freeman's playing and they're like driving down and like they're all shooting them and shit. Like that's so sick. But yeah, recently I've watched The Pope's Exorcist, which is that new Russell Crowe movie, and it's really good. It's just your standard exorcism horror film, like, cause I mean, since The Exorcist, they've all kind of
been treading water.
Do the same things, like, but Russell Crowe's so good in it. Like his character is so good that he just carries the whole film, and it's worth watching just for that.
It's based on like a real dude as well.
Yeah, Father Amorth, like or Amorte, or I can't. barely speak English.
Let alone
Asking
that's
it,
it.
yeah. But yeah, he was like a real guy. I think there's like a sort of documentary on Netflix called The Devil and Father Amorth, and it's about the same guy. I've not watched it, but I will now because I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really good. That's worth watching. What else? Oh, I love Halloween.
Yeah.
Friday 13th. I grew up watching because my cousin always used to babysit me when I was 8 or whatever. So my mum would go out on a weekend or whatever, and my cousin would babysit me, and we'd always go to Ava Video, which was a really old VHS rental place.
It's dated the story, yeah.
And well, I'm 36 now. You know what I mean? I was born in the 80s, bro. So yeah, so my mum would go out. And then my cousin would be like, should we go to Ava Video and get some movies? And I'd be like, yeah! So then we'd go. And he'd be like, what should we get? And I'd always go straight to the horror section. 8 years old. No wonder I do what I do for a living now, do you know what I mean? And yeah, I'd always just get Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday 13th, Halloween, stuff like that. So I've grown up watching horror movies. So yeah, like I said, it's no wonder that I'm in a death metal band, really.
It's kind of core to it. The lyrics are just horror stories, basically. Yeah. Lastly, what's coming up for Ingested? What's down the pipeline for you guys?
Well, a lot. There's lots of really big things coming. A lot of them I can't really talk about, but I will give you this. I will give you this. Ingested is the hardest working band, in death metal, or one of. We're always on tour. We're always writing albums. We're always recording albums. So make of that what you will. Other than that, as soon as we finish this, we go home for 6 days. Then we go to America for our headline tour with Devourment, Organectomy and Extermination Dismemberment. It's shaping up to be our biggest American headline tour to date.
Sweet.
Which is really exciting. Then we come back from that, we do Download, Dogtooth stage, Friday afternoon, be there. So it's our first time at Download, which is better late than never. So I'm excited for that. Then we play a couple of shows with Lorna Shore, Southampton, Belfast and Dublin. And then we play Brutal Assault in the summer. We got a show with Heaven Shall Burn in Germany and a couple of other shows around that. And then I go on holiday with my family for a very well-earned vacation. And then the rest I can't tell. But it's very, very exciting. So big things are coming.
Look forward to it. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you. Cheers for having me.